Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who doubt you the most. This story begins with two cousins who grew up almost like brothers but were completely different in how they saw success. One cousin wanted to build something creative, modern, and digital. The other believed that only traditional corporate jobs were respectable. The first cousin worked in digital marketing, a job many in his family didn't understand. The second one was proud of his corporate internship and made sure everyone knew it. At family gatherings, the cousin with the corporate internship would mock the other. He would joke that posting pictures online isn't a real job and say things like, "People waste their youth chasing fake careers." Everyone would laugh, and though it hurt, the digital marketer stayed silent. Deep down, he knew the world was changing. The internet was no longer just for entertainment. It was becoming the backbone of business. He had started from the bottom, working for a small digital agency. The hours were long, the pay was low, but he learned every possible skill: social media strategy, SEO, online ads, and brand storytelling. Every night he studied digital analytics and marketing algorithms, understanding how data and creativity worked together. He knew that one day, these skills would be his greatest asset. His cousin, on the other hand, followed the traditional path: a degree, a corporate internship, and a belief that a secure job was guaranteed. But by 2025, the world had changed dramatically. Artificial intelligence and automation had started taking over traditional office roles. Studies showed that almost 30% of repetitive administrative and finance jobs were now being automated. Many industries were shrinking while digital sectors were exploding. The digital marketing industry alone had reached a market size of over $600 billion globally. About 80% of companies worldwide were spending more on digital advertising than on traditional media. Jobs that once seemed small or unstable were now the backbone of modern business. The cousin who had been mocked was at the right place at the right time. He began leading projects for big clients. One campaign he created went viral, bringing millions of views and boosting a client's sales by 200%. His creative strategies got attention from major companies. Within a few years, he was promoted to a department head position in a large marketing firm. His salary tripled, and he started mentoring younger marketers who wanted to follow his path. Meanwhile, his cousin was struggling. The corporate market had become overcrowded. Thousands of graduates applied for the same few jobs. Companies no longer hired based on degrees alone. They wanted real-world skills, adaptability, and experience. His cousin applied to dozens of companies but received rejection after rejection. Many of his skills had become outdated, and the jobs he was trained for were being replaced by software. One day, the digital marketer's company opened a few new positions. As he was reviewing the list of applicants, he froze when he saw a familiar name. His cousin had applied for one of the jobs, the same cousin who had once laughed at him. At first, he didn't know how to feel. There was shock, irony, and even a bit of sadness. Life had come full circle. He didn't want to be petty or unprofessional. He decided to let things play out fairly. When interview day came, his cousin walked into the meeting room and stopped mid-step. He couldn't believe who was sitting on the other side of the table: his own cousin, now the interviewer. The silence in the room was heavy. All the jokes, all the teasing from the past flashed before both of their eyes. But the digital marketer remained calm. He greeted his cousin warmly and began the interview. He asked about his experience, his skills, and how he handled digital projects. Within minutes, it became clear that his cousin didn't understand the field well. He could speak theory, but he had no practical experience. He couldn't answer simple questions about ad targeting, analytics, or social strategy. That moment showed the clear difference between someone who had adapted and someone who hadn't. In today's world, learning never stops. A recent study found that professionals who continuously learn new digital skills are 45% more likely to advance in their careers and 60% less likely to lose their jobs during economic downturns. His cousin had stayed in the comfort zone of his degree while the digital marketer kept evolving. When the interview ended, he thanked his cousin for coming and said the company would get back to him. Later, during the evaluation meeting, the team agreed his cousin didn't meet the requirements. The digital marketer didn't interfere. He let the process be fair. After the decision, he personally called his cousin. Instead of mocking him back, he spoke kindly. He explained the skills needed in the digital world and even suggested free online courses that could help him get started. That call changed everything between them. His cousin finally realized how wrong he had been to judge someone without understanding their field. The so-called social media job he once laughed at had turned into a high-paying, respected profession. Data showed that digital marketing managers now earn salaries averaging $80,000 to $100,000 per year, and creative strategists were among the most in-demand professionals worldwide. Over time, their relationship began to heal. The cousin who had failed to get the job didn't give up. He took his cousin's advice and began learning. He enrolled in online courses, studied analytics tools, and worked with small clients to gain experience. Within a year, he landed a digital marketing internship at another firm. The same field he once mocked became his new career. This story highlights how quickly the definition of success can change. For years, people believed traditional corporate jobs were the safest path. But now, industries evolve faster than ever. By 2030, experts estimate that over 60% of the jobs people will do haven't even been created yet. The key to surviving in this new world is adaptability. The ones who keep learning will always move ahead of those who cling to the past. Emotionally, this story also reveals how pride and insecurity shape people. The cousin who mocked others did so because he feared being wrong. He didn't understand that success isn't about following a fixed path. It is about creating your own. The digital marketer, on the other hand, never tried to prove anyone wrong. He just focused on improving himself until his results spoke louder than any argument. In the end, both cousins learned something valuable. The digital marketer learned humility. Even when you're in a position of power, empathy matters. His cousin learned that the world doesn't reward those who stand still. It rewards those who adapt. Technology, creativity, and lifelong learning now define success more than degrees ever could. Their story is more than family irony. It is a reflection of how the modern economy works. Many people today are going through the same shift. Traditional jobs are becoming automated, while digital and creative fields are booming. People who once looked down on online careers now realize they're the future. From remote work to content creation to AI-driven marketing, opportunities are everywhere for those willing to evolve. At the next family gathering, things were different. There were no more jokes, no mocking. Both cousins sat together, sharing stories about projects, clients, and future plans. What had once been rivalry became mutual respect. The cousin who once laughed now admired him, and the one who was once mocked showed no resentment, only gratitude. This story isn't about revenge or pride. It's about growth. It's about how the world rewards those who see beyond stereotypes. The boy who was once teased for having a fake job ended up representing the future of work. His cousin's journey reminds us that it's never too late to learn, to change, or to start again. In the modern world, the biggest mistake isn't failing, it's refusing to evolve. Every skill, every hour of effort, every lesson matters. What separates those who succeed from those who struggle isn't luck. It is the courage to keep learning when others stop. The digital marketer's story proves that even when people mock your path, staying focused on growth will eventually turn their laughter into respect.